look both ways before you cross me, baby, 'cause I don't break for boys. I'm moving on, hey, got nothing left to say. Let's be on my way, best of luck. I'm moving on, oh, got nothing left to say.
Hello, my name is Cherish and this is my van. I have been getting ready to go on some van life adventures this summer on Vancouver Island, and I thought I would share some safety tips for you solo female campers, for the girlies, but also for the guys. I didn't forget about you. There's a little something in this video for you as well. I am scouting out some new rec sites for camping, and some of them are in the backcountry, so you might want to watch this video as well and check that out. Technically, all these safety tips could be for other situations as well. Like say a group of girls is renting an RV for the first time and doing some traveling. You guys would all really want to know these kind of things as well. Zen Dog is here to help me with the safety tips, of course. Okay, what's tip number one, Zen Dog? Tip number one is always share where you're going with somebody and share your phone location. Preferably more than one person has your phone location that they can like track you or know where you are, and you can let them know where you're going, approximately what time you're supposed to be there, and then they can check in on you and see if you're at that location. Tip number two is a super important one. Don't ever post online where you are going. Don't post on social media, don't post on your Instagram stories. Don't post anything about where you are until after you have already left. The next one is you want to make sure that your van or your vehicle is fully maintained before you go. Has all the maintenance done. This means an oil change, this means all your fluids topped up, this means checking the air pressure in your tires, this means possibly going to a mechanic and making sure everything's, all good if it's an older vehicle. Because I made this mistake earlier this spring. I thought I could get away with like a quick trip early on before doing like a full maintenance on the van, it would be fine. And right when I pulled up to the campsite, it started smoking. I like jumped out, didn't know what was going on, had to get it towed to a mechanic, and it turned out something was wrong with like the bearing and I had to pay to get all that fixed. So it's so much better just to make sure all that stuff is done so you don't end up on the side of the road and you don't end up with a really large tow bill. Do you want to go out and go for a walk, buds? We can do the rest of the tips out there somewhere. It doesn't have to be in the van. What do you think? Should we go? Okay, let's go. Say you're at your campsite and you're starting to get set up and you get approached by this guy and they're giving off super creepy vibes and they're watching you. There's a few tactics that you can use to give yourself the upper hand. The first one is don't shy away, don't make yourself small, don't curl up, don't do this. Don't show that you're timid. Nothing like that at all. The first thing you're gonna do is, if they're standing in front of you, is square off with your shoulders and have your shoulders match them. Stand up nice and tall and square them on, okay? If they start asking you questions like, oh, are you alone? You immediately reply, no, I'm not alone. My brother and friends will be here shortly, or my husband's on his way, or my dad and my family are meeting me here in like half an hour. Don't ever give them any personal information. Don't tell them directly like where you're from. Try and deflect all the questions. If they keep asking you questions, that's when you start directing them back at them and kind of sidestepping and starting to let them know that it's super weird that they are asking questions. So you could stop and look at them and be like, oh, there's a lot of questions, don't you think? Or, oh, you're writing a book on me or something? Or, oh, you seem like a curious guy with all these questions that you're asking me. If they seem to be staying around and they seem to be persistent, then that's when you need to just cut them off. You need to be like, well, I gotta head into town and grab some things before everyone gets here. Bye. Okay, make it very clear. While you're doing this, also make sure you direct yourself to the front seat of your vehicle, close your door, make sure your door is locked. Like, always put something between yourself and them that is some sort of block, and then just carry on, right? If they stand there and watch you, you just start up your vehicle and drive away. Just whatever you do to get out of the situation, but still leaves you confident and leaves them having no idea who you are, where you're going, or where you're from, anything like that. Okay, we are at wreck site number 1 and we are checking out this open campsite that just looks gorgeous. Like, look at this huge maple. And it looks like there is a trail that would go directly to the lake. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be gorgeous. Then there's a beautiful site like this, nice and forestry, a little closer to the road, but available if you come here on like an unplanned day. This is probably most likely the one that's available. This place even has a boat launch to the lake. There's probably some really great fishing on this lake, I imagine. So this wreck site is fairly small, not a ton of camp spots, but not only is it by a lake, it is also by a beautiful river that flows into the lake. And apparently up that way there is a 5-tier waterfall. They even have a few double spot campsites here available. Super cool for a bigger crew. Very, very nice little wreck site. Now we're going to check out some free camping spots along the river. Some of the clearest water you ever did see. So this is one of the free spots you can stay down along the river. And this river is like crystal clear blue water. It's absolutely gorgeous over here. Look how magical this tree looks. Holy. All right, we found another free spot that you could just back the van right in, and then check this out. Just nice, deep, beautiful river spot right here. Yes, please. We'll probably add this one to the list for sure. So this place was right beside it. We've just been talking to them, and their spot is right here. Oh, I want to go swimming in here so bad. Zen would love it. What do you think, Zen Dog? Is this a good spot to have some lunch? I think I'm gonna have a bite to eat, and then I'm going to jump right in. Another safety tip to go along with this is always pack 2 camping chairs, even if it's just going to be you. When you're doing your camping setup or van setup, always put out 2 chairs. And you can even back this up further and like carry around men's work boots with you and put them outside your van. So if someone is watching you from afar or you know, considering approaching you, they're gonna look at those details. These people are smart. If they see 2 camping chairs, if they see, you know, a pair of guys' work boots, then they're more likely to leave you alone and believe that you do have people coming to meet up with you. Another safety thing to think of is, what are you gonna do at night if you have to go to the washroom? You don't wanna go outside by yourself, you don't wanna go on a trail, you don't wanna walk to the outhouse if you're having creepy vibes or you're unsure about something. So if you do wanna be safe, make sure you have some sort of method to go to the washroom in your van, in your tent, in your vehicle. It can be as simple as, you know, a little bucket with some shavings so you can like absorb or put a lid on it. I'm sure there's a few different things you can do, but that is definitely a big one because it's when you're at night, you're tired, you're by yourself, you gotta go pee, and you don't want to go outside, you don't want to do the long walk to the outhouse or out into the bush by yourself, because you never know about bears and cougars as well. This next one is a big one. Carrying a personal safety device and having multiple ones in multiple different places. This can be any sort of knife. There's even little keychain knives for your keychains. There's bear spray. There's, you know, your bang bangs. Make sure that, of course, it is legal, registered, all that stuff. Make sure that you know how to use it very well. You feel very comfortable knowing how to use it. And having these in different locations, being familiar with where the location is so it's easy to grab and what you would use what for what. Okay, whether you're nervous about someone has approached the van or you're worried about a bear. So it's just being smart and knowing what tool to use for what situation. Again, never show what you have online. So whatever your personal safety devices are, don't ever show them online, ever. Don't let anyone know that you have them. Last week I just did a full van tour video, and in that video I don't show you any of my safety devices at all. I completely leave them out because you don't want people to be able to know what you have. It's the element of surprise. A magician never shows his tricks. Also, if you are needing to use your gun in a certain situation, say there's a bear all up in your space and you need to, it won't go away no matter what you do, and so you need to use that gun for a warning for the sound, make sure you're using that gun to shoot off towards the ground, away from you, away from everything else, just towards the ground. Never shoot it straight ahead, never shoot it up into the air, okay? Shoot it down into the ground, it'll be enough to scare the bear away and you will be good to go. Safety tip number, whatever. Always keep your driver's seat clear. Don't ever keep stuff on it at night. Don't keep stuff storage, like nothing. Your driver's seat is always clear, and always make sure you know where your keys are located. So if you need to get up in the middle of the night and leave, you can. I spent 2 days in the back roads searching for new wreck sites. On the first day, I drove all the way to Portal Bernie and then kept going past Sprout Lake, past Taylor Arm, and then down into a logging road down to Snowy Creek wreck site. And then we checked out the free camping spots along the river, stopped for a swim at Taylor's Rest, and then on the way home, stopped for another swim at the lake. The second day, we went up into the mountains to check out Little Gracie Lake, and then kept going to Nemint wreck sites. So this time, though, we had to go this way around the lake, down through Gracie, down to Nemint, and then after that, we kept going all the way over here to this lookout, and then it turns out there's no road between here and here, so on our way home, we went all the way back all the way here and then all the way back into town. We climbed some elevation into the back roads and entered some old heli logging territory. This whole area is still active for logging, and it was cool seeing these older machines up close. The trail into Gracie Lake was fairly short and led to a small lake tucked away in the mountain. It looked like a great little fishing spot that someone had settled into for the day. With one last steep climb and a long drive, we entered the path to Namint Lake and rec sites. If you wanted some time away from the world, this was truly the spot. Look at this beautiful camp spot. Not much for the van, but amazing for a tent. There are some beautiful rec sites here at Namint Lake, but they are definitely suited more towards tents or trucks with campers for sure. There are several of these type of camp spots available here. Absolutely gorgeous spots, but it's just so rogue and so hard to drive in here. So it makes sense why there's more spots available right now. If I could get the van here, this would be another beautiful spot to go to, but it was such a rough and crazy drive out here, guys. I don't think this is a place that the van could go. I swear I hear a waterfall somewhere up here. I hear running water. Let's go check it out, see if we can find it. If you guys are tent camping, these are some of the most gorgeous sights I've ever seen. Just beautiful. Okay, you guys, I think I found Fern Gully. Oh my goodness, it's so gorgeous. Bit of a rock slide. Check out this wreck site. How gorgeous is this? One of the best safety tips that there is get a dog. I don't think I could travel by myself, honestly, if it wasn't for my dog. This dog is very protective of me. He's had a prey instinct his whole life. He would have no problem biting somebody, what you said. He's not a yappy dog either. He has really good hearing. He hears anyone approaching the van, and instead of yapping or barking, he just lets off a low growl. And I have taught him that if I know the situation, say I have a friend coming to visit or whatnot, and it's safe, I will say to him, it's okay. And then he immediately stops and relaxes. And if I don't say that, he'll continue to escalate to the next safety level. He, in the past, has chased bears off for me. He has held a cougar off from my dad one time, which I still think to this day was just so crazy. He is a brave, brave boy, and he is very protective. So I know in my videos he looks super cute, but when it's just me and him, his protection mode is very heightened, and he grows hackles very much like a wolf, and he is just absolutely great to have. And I think he's the main reason that gives me confidence to go out and do all this stuff. One of the last ones is trust your gut. Trust any of those gut feelings. That's your intuition, and we have intuition for a reason. So always trust your intuition and go with it. And always be aware of your surroundings and what's going on around you. Zen Dog is all tuckered out, and we are ready to head to our next location and call it a night. This last one is actually pretty cool. If you spend a lot of time in remote places and don't have cell service, then you might want to consider getting a satellite phone. Or if you have an iPhone 14 and up, you have in a built-in satellite SOS emergency in your phone. Okay, let me get this right. So the iPhone 14, 15, 16 has this feature. It includes the emergency SOS via satellite feature that allows you to text emergency services when they are outside of your range. So how this works: you try calling 911 and it doesn't connect, the satellite feature will automatically activate. Then you will follow the on-screen instructions, and once connected, you can text emergency responders. How cool is that? I didn't know that was a thing until I did some investigating and I found it online. So it might be worth upgrading to an iPhone 14, 15, 16 for that feature alone.